Guys, this is EBPMAN with tabletry.com, and today we're going to do an unboxing of Verizon's second generation 4G LTE hotspot. This is the 4620L. The previous version you see here. So what we'll do is an unboxing and we'll take a look at the hardware differences between the two devices. So inside the box we have our hotspot. On the back of the hotspot you have your SSID as well as the password, the admin settings. Let's see what else. Okay, you have some important information about charging the device and as well as global roaming. You have this these information booklets. It does have your credentials as well that you would use to log in to the admin screen, as well as your MiFi actual SSID and password, so that's important to have. You have this little felt kind of sleeve where you can put it in if you're that kind of person that likes to keep things from getting scratched. Your power charger, and you have your battery. The battery is similar. If I look at my older one, very similar to the previous version. Actually, it looks like they're exactly the same. 3.7, 1500 milliamps. So again, identical. So you can swap batteries. So when you open up the two devices, they're pretty similar in the inside, but there's one thing that is a major difference, and you'll notice that the SIM slot for both of these devices is in the same corner. However, one thing that has changed is the fact that now we're dealing with a micro SIM. So this was for the previous hotspot, and this is for the new hotspot. So if you are upgrading and you think it's just as simple as taking your card and putting it inside the device, it's not going to work. You're going to have to use the new one that comes with the device. So I'll go ahead and insert it into the actual hotspot, the 4620L, and it's very easy to do. All you do is just follow the instructions. There's a graphic image right here that actually shows what direction it should go in. So what I'll just do is I'll just place it in here and then just slide it in. And it will slide in nicely, and then it kind of locks into position. So that's all you have to do, and then we'll just power it up and see what it looks like. Alright, so let's look at how things compare with these two hotspots. Using a standard battery, not the extended battery, both of these devices are very similar in height, when it comes to height or thickness, and also when it comes to length. They're pretty comparable when it comes to those areas. There are some slight differences now. I'll flip this around for you. And that's the location of the power button is one thing that I'd highlight, which I think is important, because as I have this in my briefcase or in my pocket, wherever you're going to be carrying your hotspot as you're on the go, occasionally this would depress and it would turn on. The actual power button is now located here, so that's a good change, because you won't turn it on by mistake. The other thing, and is the most noticeable, is the size of the screen. So this had an OLED type display that would give you very limited information, but it did give you information that showed you what was going on with the device, how many devices were connected. It would show you the signal strength and also the type of signal you had. You also have a kind of an LED indicator here on the bottom, and this is telling you by color if you have a 3G connection or a LTE connection. This on this side has the actual antenna, so that if you want to put an external antenna, like if you're in the car or having a bad signal, you can actually connect an external antenna. On the opposite side, if I flip the original one around, the same thing is found there, and they are the same, so that was something that's nice. You have your micro USB for charging and connecting it to a PC if that's something that you need to do. It doesn't have a onboard the ability to have a SD card so that you can share data if you have individuals that are connected to it. So that's not available on this device, nor is it on this one, so that's not a loss. If we were to power it up, let's take a look and see what the power sequence looks like. Really big graphics, as you can see here. And this one has this button here, which is not a power button, but this is an enter button, and these are navigational buttons. This does nothing. So this allows you to move left to right, and this allows you to select things. You notice that power-up sequence was pretty fast. It was really fast. I don't see it acquiring a signal yet, so we'll give it a second. But as it's actually acquiring a signal, and it's starting to now, what you can do is, by pressing your right arrow key or left arrow key, go into the actual menu. So let's go ahead into the menu, and what you can do is look at your network information. So what it would do is, give you again what type of connectivity you have. You could go and look at Wi-Fi information, so you can see your actual Wi-Fi hotspot name as well as password. I hope I can disable this in the software because I really don't like that being displayed. We'll keep on going. Your battery, so it's telling you that it's 91%. The number of people connected to the device. Messaging that may have come to the device. Information about the MiFi, so telling you the version number, information like that, which is nice to have. And then obviously your home screen. So it gives you some nice menuing. It does give you a lot more detail. I think it's better organized than what I saw the previous version. And it also tells you on the screen what type of connection you have. This time I have a 4G connection. It should be LTE. I'll have to see why that's not happening, but you'll notice it's switching back and forth. So maybe having some connectivity issues, or may have to do something on the activation. All in all, very similar to the previous version, except obviously for this the LED and some of the buttons that we saw. We'll take a look at speed to see if there is if it still stays true to the 4G LTE speeds once we get an LTE connection. All right, so did a little research. This device does not give you the LTE word actually appearing when you have a 4G LTE connection. You'll only get 4G. If you want to know that if you're in an LTE area, you will see, in addition to that 4G, you'll get the green LED letting you know that you have that type of connectivity. In my house, right now I'm only getting 2 bars, so we'll see what kind of bandwidth we'll get. So let's see, I have here a Samsung Galaxy tab connected to this hotspot, and let's run a test to see what type of download speeds we're going to be seeing. Alright, so this is pretty good because we're seeing 11 megabit downloads, and that's with just 2 bars. That's pretty impressive. Well, it's around 10 now. We'll let it finish. See what it averages out, 11.117. And now on the upload, it's just shy of 3 megabits. Okay, so that's pretty neat. 2 bars, pretty good performance, 11 and 2. Alright, another thing about this device, I did go into the browser software. You can check this out as well and look at the manual. One of the things I did find interesting about it, I haven't tested it yet, is the browser software or the administration page for the hotspot does seem to allow up to 10 devices, and that's a major improvement off of the other one that only had up to 4. So it looks like you can connect up to 10 devices. You have MAC address filtering. You also have you can also monitor your bandwidth. One of the things it does not have is the ability to turn off any of these items. So while it's great to have this little menu, one of the things I don't like is the fact that there's information that I'd want to keep private that still is visible in the hotspot. I wouldn't want people to see, so you can't turn that off, so that's a negative of the device. One of the other nice things about this is, let me turn this off, which I find is an improvement, is that when you are charging, the previous version just showed you bars, and the bars as they were growing. I have a little portable battery charging unit that I have here that I use when I'm on the road. And what I can do is, when I plug it in, one of the neat things about it is that it will look like it's starting up, but it's really not. Let me flip that around so you can see it. What it will do is it will start showing you and indicate not only the actual battery as it's being charged, but the percentage as well. So I think that's really neat. That's a great improvement. The previous version didn't have it. I've been pretty happy with the hotspot. It's available for a great price online if you're looking for a 2-year contract. There isn't really many providers that give you good internet connectivity at a all-you-can-eat price, so you are stuck with your different data packs. But the improvements in this hotspot are definitely worth considering if you've used one of the previous ones. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them on the YouTube channel.